One of the things that I don't think it's talked about enough is how isolating trauma is. I think there's two main reasons why trauma can be isolating. The first one is the symptoms themselves can be isolating, especially if you don't understand what's happening to you. One of the major symptoms of trauma is that your body is stuck in high alert. It's called hypervigilance. And this high alert state means we're just kind of wound too tight all the time. It might show up as anxiety, might show up as rage, it might show up as insomnia, might show up as poor digestion. I mean, there's a lot of ways it can show up. It's unique to your physiology, but the cause is the same. This fight or flight response is kind of stuck semi-on all the time. Your body's trying to fight it all the time, right? The second thing, baby goat back there, super cute. The second reason that trauma can be isolating is because trauma that comes from early childhood attachments or relationships can cause our brain to decide that intimacy and vulnerability itself is dangerous. So if you watch my other videos, you know that what our brain does when we've endured a trauma is it basically scans the environment around the trauma for every clue that it's about to happen. An example of this would be somebody who's in a traumatic car accident who has a reaction to the song that was playing during the accident. The song isn't directly tied to the accident, but in your brain it is. In your brain, the song is a sign that you're in danger, right? So similarly, if you had a lot of childhood trauma, and particularly trauma related to your caretakers, your intimate relationships, the people who are supposed to be safe, then your brain has decided that anytime you are vulnerable, like when you're a child, it's not safe. Danger's around the corner, you're gonna get hurt. And that can get in the way and cause you to isolate even when you don't want to. You're isolating from relationships that could be good for you. You're isolating from relationships that could help you, and you don't even know why you're doing it. That's because your brain has still decided that anytime you start to connect with people, it's unsafe, it's dangerous, right? And it goes on high alert. That hypervigilance causes you to act up in a variety of different ways, but it's all the same cause, right? It might look unique. You might act up by being a real jerk to the person. You might ghost them. You might get overwhelmed and shut down. You might become very, very small and needy. I mean, it's different how it manifests, and there's more details there for you personally that you can unpack with your therapist, but the overall reason and impact is the same. Intimacy and vulnerability are unsafe. So when I start to feel intimate and vulnerable with somebody, I sabotage it in one way or another, even if I don't want to. Even if I know I'm gonna do it and I tell myself I'm not gonna do it, I still do it, right? So these two things, the symptoms itself, making you irritable, jumpy, and feeling misunderstood by people around you and perhaps not even understanding yourself. And then number two, if you have any intimacy or relationship trauma can be super isolating. And this is why I say treating trauma with effective therapies can literally give you your life back. Because right now with trauma, you're stolen from the people in your life. It causes you to back down. But with the appropriate treatment, you can suddenly return to yourself. Be connected, be present, be connected and present in a way that is calm, is your best self, where you're actually experiencing what's happening and able to make attachments, right? That's the idea. That's why trauma therapy is so powerful, can literally give you back to the people you love.